Sheev Palpatine, also known as Emperor Palpatine, was arguably the strongest Force wielder and lightsaber duelist in the entirety of the Star Wars franchise, excluding comics and backlore. But just how powerful was Emperor Palpatine? Well, today I'm hopefully going to answer that for you. We start off this story in Season 5, Episode 16 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars animated TV show. Here, in this Mandalorian arc, we see that Darth Maul, with help from his brother, Savage Opress, don't worry, I will make a separate video on him later, assist Death Watch in claiming Mandalore. Here, because Darth Maul has got his own apprentice now, Darth Sidious, or Palpatine, is able to sense this in the Force, and he has someone prepare his ship to personally go to Mandalore alone. Once Palpatine reaches Mandalore, he is met by Death Watch, now under the control of Darth Maul. They attack him, but Palpatine, with all his experience and knowledge of the Force, is able to easily defeat him, and then he can march straight into a throne room where he sees Darth Maul and Savage Opress waiting after they've sensed Palpatine's presence. From the get-go of this fight, you can see that Emperor Palpatine clearly has the upper hand in this duel. Savage and Maul are both working together in an attempt to defeat Palpatine, which doesn't end up working out. At one point during the fight, one of the two brothers throws Sidious over the edge of a railing, but Sidious, with his power, is able to force pull both of them down with him and level out the playing field yet again. With the fight now back on level playing field, Palpatine is able to split the brothers up, and he turns his focus onto Savage Opress, as Darth Maul can do nothing but just stand and watch as his brother takes on a foe greater than him. As Darth Maul is separated, Palpatine knows he can easily beat Savage, so as he forces Darth Maul to watch, he impales his brother with his two crimson lightsabers, killing him and leaving Darth Maul to mourn over his brother's death. As Maul is mourning his brother's death, Palpatine can be heard in the background reminding Maul about the rule of two. Here, during this moment, Maul builds up his anger and hatred, grabs his lightsabers, and in one fateful gasp of anger, attacks the Emperor. Maul, with his heightened skills from the anger, is still no match for Palpatine. Palpatine keeps his distance and uses Force Lightning and makes Maul drop to one knee and drop both his lightsabers. Palpatine then continues to keep the distance using his Force Lightning, as he knows that Maul will be able to do nothing. It gets so bad that Darth Maul ends up begging for mercy from Palpatine to release him, and then this is the last scene we see of Darth Maul and Palpatine. Next we move on to the Jedi Temple fight seen in Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Here, Jedi Masters Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, Agent Kolar and Sassy-Teen are sent to kill or capture Palpatine, and as we know, this doesn't really work out for them. As the four Jedi Masters confront Palpatine, we learn the terrible truth that he is indeed Lord Sidious. As Windu explains to Palpatine that his fate will be decided by the Senate, Palpatine, with a small burst of anger, proclaims, "I am the Senate." As Windu replies, "Not yet," Palpatine stands and reveals his lightsabers, muttering, "It's treason then." He lashes out at the Jedi so quick with his corkscrew technique that the red robes only created a red blur that the Jedi saw. Whilst doing so, he also releases a Force Scream which distracts the Jedi and allows the Emperor to get the upper hand. As this proves that not only is Palpatine a superior duelist to most Jedi, but he is also able to take Sith techniques, put them together in a sequence and use it to gain the upper hand, as seen with the Force Scream and the Spin. He is quicker and he muffles the hearing of the Jedi so that he can attack from anywhere and they wouldn't know. As the Senate battle continues, we see that Yoda and Palpatine are perfect opponents for each other. It leaves for a good duel, but it's not too one-sided. We see this how as Yoda is the embodiment of the light side of the Force and focuses on the Force power, whereas Palpatine, he focuses on all aspects of combat, from lightsaber combat to Force combat. We see this a bit in Episode 2 Attack of the Clones with Count Dooku versus Yoda. However, because Dooku was Palpatine's apprentice, it means that Palpatine was much stronger in the Force and lightsaber combat than Dooku. Eventually though, in this fight, Palpatine gains the upper hand, and in the space of 20 to 30 minutes, he's able to defeat, with help from Anakin, 5 Jedi Masters, but not kill them all. With Yoda's defeat, he basically allows Palpatine to complete what he wanted and take the Galactic Senate and make it into a first galactic empire, which then leads on to the events of A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So just how was Palpatine able to defeat all these Jedi in such a short time? Well, in his years of training under Darth Plagueis, he was able to master all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, even the ones that were defensive style or the ones where you have to focus on the Force even more. And because he understood the dark side, he could gain power from his rage. However, we don't really see him use that. This means it is impossible for his enemies to figure out a pattern in his attack style, causing him to make unpredictable movements, which then led on for Palpatine to win most of his fights. I hope this video was able to shed some light on why people believe Palpatine was the strongest character in the entire Star Wars Skywalker saga. If it did, let me know in the comments who you'd want to see next, and leave a like on the video, and I shall see you all in future videos of Star Wars Analysed.